Greetings survivors and friends, Shadowfrax here, back again with yet another installment of my immensely popular Rust plugin showcase series, where I've been taking a look at all the ways you can add some extra spice to your server. And oh, there's so much spice you can add. In fact, if you're not careful, it could end up being mostly made of spice. And where does that leave you? On the toilet, usually, for hours on end. So balance is needed. Anyway, recently we've looked at train heists, sinkable cargo ships, remote detonation, biplanes and water bases, to name a few. And just so you know, I'm not getting anything from anyone for showing you these. This is all off my own back, and links to all of them will be in the description. So, up first today is, in my opinion, probably the best thing to happen to vehicles in Rust since those air fresheners shaped like a tree. This is Custom Modules, a brand new plugin that introduces 8 new custom vehicle bits and bobs that can be added to loot tables, etc. Now pay attention, Bond. Firstly, there are a couple of buoyancy modules, which as you can see are basically flatbeds with inner tubes nailed to them, and these will let you take your car right down into the water and just carry on going, because why shouldn't you be able to drive to the oil rigs? You will need to balance them out with the cockpit in the centre, or you'll end up pointing at the seabed, but the good news is a new type of rubber's been invented for the task, and they are completely unpoppable. Next, a turret module, which will only be active when a driver's in the cabin, but is the perfect protection for that oh so dangerous trip to the shops. As well as all the functionality of a normal turret, if the vehicle has a lock, it will stop any old naked from being able to authorise on it. And there's a floaty version for making your very own amphibious gunship thingamybobs. Time is precious, and we're not all Sunday drivers, so that's why we need these next ones, a nitrous-powered flatbed and taxi module, both of which can be activated with the sprint key. They'll naturally burn more fuel for the privilege, but they'll get you away from, or closer to, something much faster. Just make sure you don't add too many to your vehicle, or where you're going, you won't need roads. You'll definitely need insurance though. Next is the remote module, a cockpit with added aerials and CCTV. You can set the frequency and jack into it at the station for total remote control with infinite range. Perfect for reconnaissance missions and or drive-bys. And lastly, the underwater engine module, which will let you go deep, quite literally. Just make sure to pack some oxygen, as cars are traditionally a bit leaky. Not only are all of these fun on their own, but the possibilities are huge. Conduct remote control underwater surveillance missions, or keep the local roads clear without leaving your chair. Ocean taxi services? Yes please. Drag racing with turrets? It's all here. Anyway, boss battles next. But talking of which, I have a sponsor for this video, as those gas bills are getting spicy. Hello there. Time to talk about me now. Hang on a minute. You look like you're from a mobile game. Well, technically any game can be mobile if you live in a caravan. Besides, Hero Wars has got very good graphics and a nice user interface. A nice user interface, you say? Go on then. Smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast. In Hero Wars, there's a hero for everyone. Whether you identify as a cyborg, an alien, a furry, or even a hairy, I don't care. It'll take you ages to unlock all of them. This chap's called Chabba, an absolute unit who actually devours his enemies. Nice. And here's Celeste. She's got a changeable personality, with a DPS dark form and a healer light form. How very useful. Besides, check out this sexy outfit. Hero Wars will consume you. You'll be playing it on the bus, at school, or even while playing something else. Not while driving though. Please don't do that. It's easy to start playing, but assembling that perfect team is an art in itself. For example, Mojo can't heal Darkstar the Elf as efficiently as Grandma Martha can, while the slow Cleaver makes a great pair with the swift Isaac. Know what I mean? Hero Wars is a world of 6 unique modes, more than 300 Guild Wars servers, and 100 million players. You can play alone or see whomst among you and your friends is the top dog. Oh, and a quick question, where can you get 30,000 coins, 600 emeralds, and 5 awesome heroes to start dominating in Hero Wars right away? Well, check out the link below and start your journey in Hero Wars right now. Back to the video, and the next plugin I have for you is called Boss Monster, because normal NPCs just aren't annoying enough. Using this plugin, you can add NPC bosses to any part of the map, have them patrol monuments, or just let them go wild and spawn randomly. There are 6, count them, imaginatively named boss presets to choose from, and here they are. Franken, who can do long-range electric damage and who also makes the temperature drop around him to freeze you up. Insert joke about cold electricity here. Evil, who not only does rad damage to you, but will also summon 3 wolves to attack. Heavy, who's the reincarnation of Ned Kellyan, who summons 3 scientists to do science experiments on you from a distance. Horror, a highly protected boss who can knock you down and steal your food and water. Raptor, who also has rad weapons and can make floor spikes appear in the ground under you. And Scary, who is very dangerous thanks to fire ammo and the ability to summon pillars of flame to slow you down. My goodness, sounds like the Spice Girls. By default, you can see their locations on the map, thankfully, and everything about them, including their appearance, health,
it's over 9,000!
loot dropped, vision cone, speed, chase range, etc., etc. can be adjusted along with when and how they'll appear. You can even cobble together your own boss monsters if you like, and potentially make one that has the combined abilities of all the presets. My word. Now to something a little less intimidating, apart from the amount of ingredients. This is Cooking 2.0, a plugin that finally adds Tier 2 cooking and pies to the game. With it installed, players will be able to find 91 new ingredients from 33 different sources and make over 90 delicious and not so delicious meals. Not only, but also these can offer a whopping 46 unique buffs to those willing to chain themselves to the oven, including invisibility, reduced fall damage, night vision, harvesting yields, or even letting you evade detection by attack choppers. For instance, curry gives you immunity to fire for 3 minutes, whereas a full English breakfast will increase your max calories to 2,000 for 2 hours, just like the real thing. A Chernobyl casserole will make you impervious to rads for 2 minutes, and an Admiral pie not only gives you better control over your boat, but lets you also increase boat speed by 100% with a toggle in chat for 10 minutes. Only the best for the captain's table. Clicking on ingredients will tell you where you can get them from. For instance, salt will be a byproduct of mining desert nodes. You can get seaweed as a byproduct from gutting fish, and who would have guessed chickens had eggs inside them. Other ingredients like cheese and butter are crafted separately. Well, if I'm going to be getting all this extra stuff while I'm out and about hitting things and picking things up, where am I going to put it all, you say? Well, that's why you can craft yourself an ingredients bag in it. As well as this, there's a farmer's market, which can be accessed from anywhere and bought and sold on. It starts out empty, but players can buy ingredients they need and sell their spare ones for scrap, like fish eyeballs and intestines. As with all these plugins, everything in the config is subject to change, and you are totally able to adjust, remove, or even add your own recipes. Oh, NPCs, aren't they adorable? Don't you wish you could just round one up, take it home, and force it to do your evil bidding? Of course you do. Well, now you can, with Personal NPC, which lets you have your very own indentured NPC servant, friend, who will follow you around and do all the dirty work. And this isn't just a Frankenstein monster with different clothes, this is something much more. He'll follow you around, can be asked to defend you or just attack those you attack, but you can kit him out with whatever weapons, armor, and tools you'd like him to have. Plus, he's a handy walking loot container. Best of all though, you can get him to collect wood. Yes, with a click of the mouse or a key of your choice, you can ask him to chop down trees, mine nodes, loot boxes, collect resources off the ground, or even automatically harvest stuff until you tell him to stop. Just make sure you've given him the tools to do so. He can pick you up if you're feeling down, and if you get in a vehicle, he'll try to hop in too because he just wants to be with you. Ah, bless. Right, a couple of free but ultimately very serious and not at all frivolous plugins to end on now. First of all, Flying Piano, because until someone adds a vehicle module with one on the back, this is the only way I'm going to be able to channel Vanessa Carlton. Operation is simple. Basically, spawn a flying piano, chuck some low grade in the lantern, and off you go. This is quite an advanced plugin though, as you can see, because it actually has a code lock. Heaven forbid anyone would try to steal it. And lastly, this is Thunderpoon. Actually, I think this was a community concept limo at one point. With this installed on a server, simply drag a bean can grenade onto a spear to create the still mightier Thunderpoon. Your enemies will explode out of sheer terror when they see this hurtling towards them, and for added fun factor, the amount of damage and explosion radius can be tweaked in the config. Well, what do you think of this little selection? Please let me know in the comments below, and if you've tried them or have them on your server, I want to know as well. Make sure you leave me a like and sub to the channel. I'm always on the lookout for more interesting plugins to cover, so if there are any out there that you think I should know about, then please drop me a line. Oh yes, and don't forget to check out the link below and start your journey in Hero Wars right now. You can follow me on Twitch for streams, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and my Steam group to stay up to date with my content, and you can support the channel via Patreon, YouTube memberships, or my merch store. All the links are below. I shall catch you in the next video, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.
It's over 9,000!